program start. Like White
Are we
coming.
live?
Oh, hey guys.
Oh, you beautiful, wonderful people, because I won't call you bastards. Are we live? We're live. Right?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Are we alive?
Petition,
I certainly
were we
hope so.
My
Totally
petition went
dead.
through. Everybody, the good people of this world, my petition went through, and Brooklyn is gone. Too bad that we did not give a great schedule to the new host, so they're actually running late as we speak. But they will join us soon. Again, this is a fantastic Thursday. We're here with Late Night with Take 3. That's how you properly say it. But we can't do this alone. We have a wonderful panel joining us today, besides our host. And we'll go to Matt Kearns. Matt Kearns, how are you doing today? And are you excited that Brooklyn is finally gone?
I'm doing great, mostly because thank God Brooklyn's not here. Maybe now, when we have segments, I get to say a word. Like, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. All right. And the next one, his rhyme or reason partner, now he may be upset that his Canadian friend got kicked to the side, but now it's time for the real Canadian to shine, and no more insulting questions or ruling against you, and maybe you'll win the belt this time because that biased Brooklyn's finally gone. Sandy, how are you feeling?
Well, it is, secretly I can announce now that it's been, but I was like second or third to sign the petition because, every episode, getting Cody saying those damn Canadians where I have to hold my arms up until he says no, except for you, buddy. And so we had to get rid of that other Canadian. So I am just happy to be here again. I'm happy that we're back on schedule on a Thursday night with these beautiful people, because I won't say it either. And I think we're gonna have a good show. And I can't wait till the new host gets here.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be exciting times. And Malcolm, you're kind of the reason for this new host coming. So you kind of did the audition process to find him. So how are you today? And are you excited to reveal the new host, Malcolm?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm not going to reveal it just yet. I'm just going to wait till he shows up. So, and I'm just glad to know that we've got the best Canadian on stream. So, yeah.
Yeah, Malcolm kind of kept us all in the dark of who he hired as the new host, but I trusted him because he's a great guy.
I'm really just afraid that at a certain point my roommate's gonna come out and say he's the new host, to which I'll be like, Malcolm, really?
Well, I will leave the show. So tonight, to start until our new host gets here, we're gonna actually reveal a new game. Malcolm brought this game into the idea pool for us, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to pass it to Malcolm to explain how this is going to work, and we'll start with that.
Yeah, so basically the game I've got is called Geek Out. You may have heard of it because it's appeared on Will Whedon's Tabletop before, but basically I'll go ask an example, like I'll go to Cody and say wants question number 3. I'll ask him if he can name 4 sci-fi TV shows from the 70s, and if he says he can, then it goes to Matt, and if he can name more, he'll go, I can name 6. Sandy might be able to name 85, and I then in which case I'll go that I pass, and because Sandy had the highest bet of how many he can name, then he has to name 85. But yeah,
how is a
one
winner decided?
Yeah, so basically, if Sandy can name 85 sci-fi shows, then he gets a point. Basically, it's the first to 5 points, or for however long want the game to go.
We might do 3 just in case our host. So first to 3 that can actually wager and win their wager. If they can't name it, does the person that called them out, or how does
or is the round just end there?
If they can't name them, no one gets a point.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so Malcolm's going to throw away the first question. So it's basically going to work like this: I will start it, followed by Kearns, then Sandy, then Malcolm. Okay?
Yep.
All right.
Cool.
I'm going to start with Cody. Cody, do you want 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
Let's go with 5. I like 5.
See the respect.
Somebody's gonna be on the panel.
You see the respect already that's been given to the new interim, the champion already.
He actually let the person with the game explain the rules, unlike 6 degrees of Kevin.
And we all get to ask questions, and we don't get limited to one apiece. This is very nice. This is Malcolm, beautiful. I hope you found a host that could literally do that from now on.
Yeah.
Cody, can you name 2 famous skateboarders?
Can I go above 2?
If you think you can name more than 2, yeah.
I can name 3 famous skateboarders.
Matt, can you name more than 3?
I can name 1. Oh wait, no, 2. I can name 2.
Sandy, can you name more than 3?
No.
And neither can I. So Cody, name your 3.
Well, there is Tony Hawk, Bam Margera.
Those are my 2.
And Rob Deerdick. That used to be.
Rob Deerdick.
That's right. Yeah, that's
true. My 2 were Tony Hawk and Jason Lee. Jason Lee was a pro skateboarder.
That was going to be my 4th if somebody would have.
Ooh, the 4th one. The 4th one could have been Meaty. Rob Deerdick's Bulldog, because he rides a skateboard too. There you
Dude,
go.
I love ridiculousness. Like, it is kind of in a way the poor man's Touch 0.0, but I still love it.
Yeah,
I like it.
All right.
Sterling is awesome.
Okay, I'm going to start it on Matt this time for this one. Matt, do you want one? Say a number between 1 and 5. You want number 4?
Yeah.
It's the category of music. Can you name 4 performers whose name begins with the letter G?
Okay, they have to be singers or going to be groups?
I would let that be.
I mean, it says performers, so.
It doesn't matter because I can't, so don't fucking matter.
Sandy, can you name 4 performers that begin with the letter G?
Yeah. I can name
Bullshit.
4. I can't go higher than 4. Cody,
I called Sandy out. Isn't that how the game works?
No, that's not how it works. It's still.
Everyone gets a chance of saying if they can name
more
than 4. Yeah.
Fair enough. Sorry.
Are we including bands? Or are we just including?
I'm going to say bands are included. It's not too specific on the card. So, Cody, can you name more than 4?
I have 4. I have 4 in my head. I can name 5.
Okay, name them.
Oh, damn!
Well, let him try to outwager. That would be actually a good idea. So, because then I could just. So, Sandy, can you name more than 6? Can you name 6?
I can name 6. Yeah.
All right.
6. Can I name 7? No, I will not. I will put you to the test.
All right. 1, Green Day. 2, Gina Davis. 3, George Clooney. 4, George Takei. 5, Grace Jones, and 6, Grace Kelly.
Wait a second.
Fuck locked the back door. Who the fuck locked the back door? Why?
Malcolm. We told you to hire the new host, and this is who you brought back? Please explain yourself. Please explain.
Yeah, well, the thing is, no one wanted the show, so we had to get the only one that
I'm the second best Canadian. Sandy, really? You were the 3rd person to sign that petition? How dare you? You have lost your Tim Hortons rights, good sir. I will no longer be getting you your black coffee.
What?
Cody?
Okay, so let me catch up. Apparently, the still host of Late Night. I'm starting the
smile, friend. I've come to talk with you again.
That's fantastic. So we're playing a game that Malcolm has suggested called Geek Out. So far, I have 1 point and Sandy has 1 point. So we'll explain it as we go. You pretty much
Okay,
it's called out.
can we just?
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Getting back, I didn't know by performers we could do actors. I thought it was music groups.
No, I thought it had to be music.
Performers, actors
But
perform,
it was in the category of
singers
music.
perform.
It was in the category of music.
Yeah, but I mean, I think George Carlin has some of them has sung songs. So
I don't think Clooney didn't do his own singing for "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou."
I misheard the question correctly. So
it's okay.
I
will still award him the point. So it's pretty much a game of called outbid. There's going to be a thing on the table. You choose if you can outbid him. If you do, you can have to name them. If you miss it, no one gets a point. First to three. Me and Sandy are 1-1. Brooklyn, you son of a bitch, you're back. Petition starts again tonight. Meet me. Join and sign it.
I can't sign it this time. I need my Tim Hortons card back.
Sure. You lost your Tim Hortons. You lost that privilege.
All right,
that's not a right. It's a privilege.
We're going to start with Brooklyn. We're going to include Brooklyn in between you and Sandy. So,
Brooklyn, do you want to have question? Say number 1 to 5.
1.
Okay. Can you name 2 films about a fictional band or group?
Can I name 2 songs?
Movies.
Films.
No, 2 movies.
I can name 2 movies about fictional bands or groups.
Cody, can you name more than 2?
I can name 3.
Matt, can you name more than 3?
I can probably name 4.
Can you name more than 4, Sandy?
Yeah, I can name 5.
I can't go higher than 5. Can anyone go higher than 5?
Nah.
I cannot.
Anyone go higher than 5? I can. I just have to name the movie. I don't have to name the fictional band in it.
You just have to name the movies.
Okay.
I was pushing hard at 5, so I don't think I can go 6. Or 7 now.
So I go 6. I have to go how many?
6.
Well,
You have to do more than 5.
Okay. Okay, I'll do 6.
Okay.
The Rocker.
Okay.
Josie and the Pussycats.
Oh.
The movie Rockstar.
All right, good one.
Yep.
That Thing You Do.
Yep.
Good one.
Almost Famous.
Good one.
Sing Street.
Mm-hmm.
And School of Rock.
Whoa,
you missed the best
This
one.
is Spinal Tap?
All right,
Yeah.
hold on. Sing Street. Sing Street is Sing Street. But are they a band in that movie, or is it just a bunch of people singing?
See the movie?
I haven't seen it yet.
It's all everybody.
I will say this: I googled movies about fictional bands. All of those showed up. Also, for whatever reason, Bohemian Rhapsody showed up as well when I looked at movies about fiction.
One quick question for this game: do franchises cancel out? So I couldn't have said Pitch Perfect 1, 2, 3.
I would. I wouldn't.
I mean, I could have been a dick and said franchise rule, but I didn't. But no one exploited that. So
I think from going on, yes, it can't be. Okay, so I'm up 2. I'm about to win this game.
So, if you do Tom Cruise, if there's a Tom Cruise question, you can't do all 6 movies like that.
But yeah.
I love this game so far. Go ahead.
You just forget where you was for a second.
It's funny when I went to check your answers and I saw all the movies that I could have named. I was like, son of a bitch! I could have went to 10 on this one.
Right.
But
the Doors.
The next one. I'm going to start on Sandy. Sandy, do you want question number 1 to 5?
Let's go with good old number 3.
Number 3, and this is in the category of literature. Can you name 4 books in which an angel appears?
Ooh,
I can name 4.
I can't name more than 4. Brooklyn, can you name more than 4?
Yes, I can name 5.
Cody, can you name more than 5?
Hell no.
Matt, can you go more than 5?
I could probably do 6, actually.
Whoa.
Any advances on 6? Cody, Brooklyn, or Sandy?
Literature in which angels appear?
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Okay, Matt, go for it.
All right. Well, the first one is, of course, the Kurt Russell autobiography because he's an angel. No, I'm kidding. To be honest, no, I'm kidding. To name natural 6, we have Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. There's the Acts of the Apostles. There's Romans.
Exodus, the book of Revelations.
Those,
that one too.
those are my first 4.
Those are books, yeah.
And
I know.
Those are all books. They're all books of the Bible.
Yeah.
I win.
Matt,
You got to name them though. Name them.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. That can be Acts of the Apostles.
Those are the apostles. Name the books that the angels.
That's their books. The books
they are
are their
named.
names.
They are
The
named
book of
as
Matthew,
well,
the book of John, the book of Luke.
All right.
I win.
Dang,
I corrupted the
done that.
system.
I could have ran the prophets and just.
I know.
Yep.
Are you also a Catholic schoolboy?
No, I'm a Lutheran.
No, Christian school, but it's.
I'm a Lutheran.
What? Because I actually have the cards in my hand. Cody's in the lead. For me, which one do you think I should have? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
2.
2. The question is, can I name more than one Tiny Toon character? And yes, I can. Brooklyn, can you name more than one Tiny Toons character?
I cannot.
How many's a lot?
No. I said I can't. I said I cannot.
Oh, well, it sounds like you said I can do a lot.
No.
Cody, can you name more than one Tiny Toons character?
Do I? I can name more than 2. I can name more than 1.
How many can you name?
Oh,
Malcolm already said you can name 1.
Yeah, the minimum thing that was there was one Tiny Toons character.
Did you get 2? I said 6.
You said 6. So I don't. Matt, can you name more than 6?
I can't right now. I can't pull 6 more than 6.
Sandy, can you name more than 6?
They're tiny. They're teeny. They're all little goony.
It's
Tiny Toon Adventures.
I just have to name their tiny counterparts, right? Like or is there different names?
No, there's names for them. They're not
yeah.
just mini like Donald Duck. Like they're actual characters.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Watch the show?
I might be able to name 7, but it would be really like I'd be pushing it. So I'm gonna say no, I can't, and let Cody go on to this disaster.
Yeah, I can't name 7, so go for it, Cody.
Dang it! Well, I know there's Buster Bunny.
Yes.
This sucks.
Wow, you got to 1.
Shut up, Sandy. Hold on. Dizzy Devil was 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
Version of Babs Bunny is the other.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
3.
It's a pretty famous one. He got his own TV show.
At 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hamilton J. Pig.
That's 4.
I knew that one. That was the last one I know. Hamilton J. Pig was the last one.
Plucky.
Yeah,
Plucky Duck.
There's
Lucky Duck. Elmira.
Bugs Bunny
Elmira.
stuff.
No, not
El-
Elmira.
I
Elmira.
remember the TV show for a while, but
Yeah,
FIFA La Fume.
That was a
Shut
great
up.
show.
and,
Okay.
and also,
Granny.
and also technically, the actual Bugs and all
Bugs
that
Bunny. Yeah.
do appear in the show as characters.
Yeah.
You could
Bugs
have
Bunny,
exploited. You could
Tasmanian
have
Devil,
exploited that,
Elmer
Cody.
Fudd.
But they're not Tiny Toons characters.
Okay,
That's the
what's
thing.
the
When they
next
appeared, they
question so I
appeared
can win
as
this game?
Looney Tunes, not Tiny Toons.
Yeah. But as I said, he could have exploited that and hopefully didn't.
I mean, who am I saying? I'm the guy who went for like books of the Bible for the last
I
one. So who am I to
respect
say?
that so much. I respect
Anyway,
that so much.
it's back to Cody. Cody, do you want 1 to 5?
Give me 5. And maybe
Can
get
you
my first
name?
win.
Can you name 2 Hanna-Barbera cartoons?
Oh, back to damn freaking cartoons. Yes, I can name 2.
Matt, can you name more than 2 Hanna-Barbera cartoons?
Give me a second here. I could probably name 5.
Sandy, can you name more than 5 Hanna-Barbera cartoons?
Yes. I can name 6.
Yeah, 6 is pushing it for me. So yeah, Brooklyn, can you go more than 6?
Nope.
Can anyone advance on 6?
Not right now. Not off the top.
Do
of
I
my
have
head.
to? I have to name the shows correctly.
The show, yep.
Sandy, would you outdo me if I did 7?
No. I can't.
I'm gonna go 7.
Okay, Cody. It looks like you're going to name them. So
Shit.
Is it? You're not doing it either. You can't do 8, Sandy.
No.
Matt, can you do 8?
Not off the top of my head.
So Cody, you're
Probably
doing 7.
what I
So
had.
go for it.
Josie and the Pussycats.
Did I hear
Flintstones.
about that?
Jetsons. Oh, Jetsons, Flintstones, Josie and the Pussycat, Yogi Bear. I don't know how many I'm at.
That's 4.
I need to get 7. Shit, what the hell did I just do?
Wow. There are 3 on here that I didn't know were Hanna-Barbera that I am embarrassed.
Wait, is
that I
Josie
didn't.
and the Pussycats Hanna Barbera?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so.
I'm not. Right. I
No,
was
you're
more
good.
like I didn't know that was. I didn't know anything.
One is my favorite, one of my favorite cartoons from when I was a kid. Damn.
I believe they did a thing of Fantastic Four.
You're missing a pretty big one unless you said it and I just missed you saying it.
That
Scooby-Doo.
is not.
Yeah. Ruby Roo.
I just remember my grandma talking about a 60s Fantastic Four cartoon. I'm
Not
sure
from
that's
Hanna-Barbera. Nope.
Okay. So then I'm out. That's cool.
You might be thinking of
yeah.
Spider-Man, and that wasn't Hanna Barbera anyway.
There's Quick Draw McGraw, Hong
Yeah.
Kong Furry, Wacky
Hong Kong
Races,
Furry.
I believe was
Yes.
Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah.
Hanna-Barbera, Fantastic Four.
What's
They did
the
the
what's
production of
the
Oh,
The-
okay.
Produced by Hanna-Barbera Productions.
okay?
Sorry, man. I was looking at a list of all the
You're
stuff
good.
that he released, and
You're good.
but I'll tell you
move
which one. I'll tell you which one was mine, and it was my favorite half hour was
Touche
Space
Turtle?
Ghost.
Space Ghost.
Because it would be a 15-minute Space Ghost commercial, and then they would go to my next favorite, which was the Herculoids. I loved the Herculoids.
Sadly, Space Ghost Coast to Coast was not Hanna Barbera.
No.
Although that was a great show.
Yeah.
Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Right, it's back to Matt to start off. Do you want 1 to 5?
What's the score count though?
Cody's
and I
on
win.
2, Matt and Sandy are tied on 1, and me and Brooklyn are yet to score.
Okay. I'll go with number 2.
Number 2, can you name 4 disabled comic book characters?
Disabled comic book characters.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Well, Brooklyn's interested.
4 to 6. Yes, I could name 4.
Sandy, can you go more than 4?
4 disabled.
Yeah, and disabled can come in many forms.
No, I can't.
Yeah, I can't do more than 4 off the top of my head. Brooklyn, can you go more than 4?
Yes.
Wow.
How many is more than 4?
5.
Cody, can you do higher than 5?
Hell no.
Matt, can you go higher than 5?
Is puberty a disability? Because I can name Spider-Man.
I might be able to pull 6.
Brooklyn, can you go more than 6?
I can name 7.
No, that's not for me. Nope.
Okay,
Wow.
Brooklyn, name your 7.
Alrighty, let's see here. Daredevil,
Mm-hmm.
Professor X,
Mm-hmm.
Winter Soldier he is an arm amputee, so he is
That's
technically
true.
disabled.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Are we counting mental illness as disability?
I mean, it's I would
Just
argue
throw it out.
mental.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Iron Man,
For what?
PTSD.
PTSD.
Now, wait, are we able to talk about movies or just the comics? Because I'm not sure if he has PTSD in the comics.
Demon in a bottle.
All right, fine, fair enough. How many is that? Daredevil, Professor
4,
X,
so
Winter Soldier.
I think her name is. I think her name is Sonya. It's a Marvel. It's a Marvel character that's deaf.
The only one I'm thinking about is Red. The only thing I'm thinking about is Sonya from.
I know there's a Marvel comic character that's deaf and she's a female and she's kind of like Elektra.
And what's her name?
I think her name is Sonya, but I could be wrong.
Sandy, are you looking that up?
Yep.
So you got 5 right now with that, if it's true.
I mean, you might as well throw in Mr. Fantastic. I mean, he has no bones, so I mean,
why are you giving him?
No, that's not. That's not fair.
We're gonna do PSTD with frickin' with Iron Man.
Yeah,
I was more so I was trying to raise up Matt. But
I had
okay, so
the
we'll
ones
do
I had.
The next person that stays in wins the. We'll just do the next
'Cause
one to get the next point wins. Okay.
Because I had 4 actually. I had Daredevil, Wolverine, because he does have a mental disease. He has long-term memory loss. So that's there. Rogue, she can't touch anyone. That's kind of a disease.
Do not say mutants are a disability. This is what Professor X is fighting for.
Try to win the game. Oh, Wolverine's is true though. He does have long-term memory loss.
So
That's
anyway,
unbiased or what? What do you think the best question? Pick the best question that you think we can go the longest with here, and it'll be our final thing. Brooklyn can have his show back, which is
that's
stupid.
A fair way to do it.
I mean, you guys seemed pretty happy that I was gone, so I can just leave.
We had fireworks ready. Champagne in all points of the world. I'm just going to be real honest with you. There's a guy in Ireland that messaged me and is really pissed off that you're back. Like, he changed your name, and he signed the petition just based on your name, which is really weird. Well, what the...
That's probably him.
That's him right now.
Yeah, he's pissed. He's pissed. All right. You found it, Malcolm, yet? Just whoever can win the next one takes it home.
Well, I mean, whoever's the next one, if it's you've still got 2 points over everyone else. So yeah.
Oh, I don't care. I'm putting it on the line. I got a college open today.
But anyway, I'll start on Brooklyn for this last one. Can you name 2 students at Hogwarts?
Yes.
Cody, can you go more than 2?
Yes, I can name 3.
Matt, can you go higher than 3?
I can name 5.
Sandy, can you go higher than 5?
I can name 10.
I'm out. Fuck that.
I can go 15.
Nope. Fuck that.
Nope, you kids have fun.
Cody, can you go more higher than 15?
So here's the thing. I am going to bow out. So whoever between you two can name the most, if you miss, the person that let you go wins the match. So it's between you two right now. Sandy, can you name more than 15?
I can name 20.
Jesus Christ.
No.
Yeah, fuck it, go for it, Sandy.
All right,
Somebody get on the fact check. Somebody get on the fact check.
All right.
I'm going to keep count here myself here with my little whiteboard. Where's
Hold
my
on one
whiteboard
second.
marker?
You gotta give me a second to look up Harry Potter Hogwarts students character.
The hell? How does a person that plays movie trivia lose their marker?
You'd be surprised.
I go through a ton.
Okay, here we go.
I have a box.
I got a list of students that have been in Hogwarts. So, and it's a long
All right.
list. So, you're just gonna have to every time you say one, unless if it's one that I don't know offhand.
I mean, there should be 10 that you can get right away, and then
Right
you
away.
have to start searching.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go now. So we got Harry, Ron, Hermione, Ginny, George, Molly, Fred, Arthur. Oh no, Molly and Arthur don't count.
Yes, they do.
They
They're
were
past students at
They're
Hogwarts. It
past
says
students,
it
that's
on the
right.
list here. They're past students.
James, Lily, Severus,
Didn't think about it.
Lupin,
Mhm.
Mad Eye Moody.
Wait, hold on. What the fuck is that?
Uh-oh.
I'm not
The
sure.
shenanigans
if
being is
Mad
going
Eye-
off.
Mad
Wait a
Eye Moody
second.
went to Hogwarts. Come on.
I don't. Just give me 1 second. I'm looking at this list.
1 second, Maytail.
I do not see him on the list of past students at Hogwarts. I do not see him on this list.
All right, we'll take him off then, and I'll just keep going.
All right, fair enough. Continue. You're at 16 by my count. You said you can name 20.
I'm only at 12.
Oh, well, I can't count.
Okay,
Oh,
so
wait,
Rhyme or
right,
reason stuff.
12.
all right, so Malfoy, both Lucius and Draco. Then we have Luna, Neville, Seamus, Dean, Pavardi.
Aren't you at 20?
He's at 19. You just used
And
one.
I will say Hagrid, Newt Scamander. Shit, I could probably just keep on going here. Pansy Parkinson.
Congratulations.
Right,
Sandy is the winner
right.
of Geek Out.
Good.
Mess with me on Harry Potter.
All right, Brooklyn, you
That's
can go to your show and do what you got to do, and still get out of here on time.
And for the record, I looked up Mad Eye Moody's Pottermore thing, and he did go to Hogwarts, so he did.
Exactly.
So it's been like a week and a half, and we don't hang out off stream. How has everybody been the last week and a half? You know, like Thanksgiving has happened.
Sure you don't
Cody, how was your Monday? I heard you kick some losers' ass.
Monday was a pretty good day of mine. I was the semifinals to the Jukebox Journey to the Crown, and I KO'd Brooklyn Vale 3-0 in his own game. So it was a very interesting match. I still blame 10 hours, a 10-hour shift to being off, but guess what? This Monday, I'm off again before my match. So Matthew Rosa, look out.
Cody Newberry making nightmares come true since 2018. Matt, how was Thanksgiving?
Oh, you sure you don't want to make fun of my nation's holiday before you ask me? You sure?
You guys are 5 weeks late, but that's standard.
You know what? It was really good until this dickhead named Brooklyn had to come and ruin it. No, my Thanksgiving was. I'm fucking with ya. My Thanksgiving was great. Thankfully, Vinny went to go and visit his family. Sad part about it is he brought his uncle back with him. So tonight should be interesting with the news. Okay. But Kermit is still with Miss Piggy, so he hasn't been around. So and thankfully Vinny's uncle is he's an alcoholic, so he doesn't drink anymore. Like he's a recovering alcoholic, so he doesn't drink. I'm sorry.
Thankfully, he is an alcoholic. Matt Kearns, December 6th, 2018. Never thought I would hear the words. Sandy.
Really?
Sandy, although you lost your Tim Hortons privileges, how are you? How have you been? It's it's been a little while. What's new?
I'm sad that I've lost my Tim Hortons card. It's all right. It's all right. You know what, Brooklyn? Tim Hortons is the premier coffee chain in this country and creeping slowly into the U.S. market.
Ew, keep it away from us.
Oh no! Ew. Once you taste Tim Hortons coffee, it will be.
Once you taste hey, listen, whatever you guys want to do up there in Canada, dude, wake up, you do that, but
what?
You said taste Tim Hortons.
I figured once you taste Tim Hortons. And
okay, well, you actually have to listen to the rest of the sentence instead of just taking that portion out that you wanted to. Because I could say, you know what, I really like, assimilation. You can be like, Sandy likes ass. I mean, yeah.
I think Matt Kearns went to the Fox News school of how to make a quote. Just takes a section of it and just runs with it.
You know what?
Canadians like sucking Tim Hortons.
You know what, Brooklyn? We were all having fun, and then you just had to go and ruin it. Okay.
Where's my pen? Back door open.
I didn't leave no
back door open.
Malcolm. So other than it being like yes, no, no, yes, no. How was this interview process? Like how many people did you actually get for this potential hosting gig?
What?
No, I mean, there was a couple of people like Pee-wee Herman came, John Roker came to interview, but
what? Why would you pass on Roker?
Well, but, okay, here's the thing, Cody. You can blame me for that because Roka came on and then he challenged me to an Armageddon trivia match, and I beat his ass real bad, and he walked home with his tail between his legs. So.
Oh man! Speaking of that, did you? Okay, it was on Collider Live a couple weeks ago, but did you guys ever hear the reason as to why Christian Harloff won't let the competitors join the fan league?
Yeah,
or not even join the fan league, but just compete it. It was
because if they get beat, it'd be really
no. It wasn't just that. It was that. It was say if he sent John Roca down, and then he was like, oh, if somebody he was worried that the host or something would feed the fan competitor the question, the answers.
I heard.
So
I did not hear that.
So it was that's.
It was when Nico called in.
No. I 100% stand by his reasoning behind that.
Yeah.
Just because we don't believe that our league would, he can't take that risk. Like,
yeah,
I wouldn't take that if I had like a top tier wrestler for the WWE and I put him on an indie show and he got hurt real bad or beat up. Like, I couldn't take that risk on that. I wouldn't put him in there.
I mean, like to sort of play devil's advocate, like, I don't know. I'm probably in a minority here. It just sort of it sort of questions like our integrity, I guess, as a fan league, because like, and to sort of like switch roles around, they could have done the exact same thing with Chance Ellison, where it's like, hey, Chance, like you've done really good in these fan leagues, bring you up, and then have John Roca destroy him his first match to be like, go back to fan league.
That's the whole thing. They're doing it live. Right now, we're all doing it behind computer screens. So basically, we don't know if the question's been sent or anything. Yes, they do that. But again, that's a more sanctioned event. I think I'm with Christian 100%. I would not let if I ran it, I would not let a Schmoedown competitor compete in any of these leagues, even though I think we do a great job, just for the sake of credibility. Because if you lose to the wrong fan or let them play in the wrong league,
it was. Oh,
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'll just be real quick here, Matt. There was two things that I took apart on that one. One of his rising superstars came right out of the the fan leagues, which was his chance. So I agree with Brooklyn on that point. He could have worded it a little bit better. The point that he actually made that I totally agreed was, if you put John Roca in a match and he has to answer the questions that our question writers write and not Chris Skaliski, then they might lose. And that actually made me feel happier, because we have more challenging questions than the Schmoedown does. And that's one of the reasons why Chance is able to, and why, Robert and all the other people get looked at, because we ask harder questions, and that is by absolutely no means slagging on Chris Skaliski at all, but we have harder questions. And
he also has a quota to meet from Harloff. Harloff wants it to be more entertaining than just hard as nails questions.
Oh man, writing Cody and Malcolm can attest to this. Writing questions for the Schmoedown Trivia Schmoedown, and then getting them run by Harloff, and he was like, you guys need to lay up on these questions. These are way too fucking hard.
Yeah.
And so
it just happened.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I just want to have a discussion on that and sort of see where everyone's head at. Like, I understand it, just like, I don't know.
Well,
when I got
when I joined Take3, the Fan Schmoedown League was still going on, and I remember when it first started, the big thing was from Harloff was don't call out any competitors, and then I was working for Take3 when Brett joined and had his match. If you remember, Brett lost his match. I can promise you, we didn't. I don't even remember who the competitor against Brett was.
Zach Mitchell.
Zach Mitchell. Yeah, look, we didn't give him shit like Brett. That I'm just saying that. But having said that, having dealt with Christian and dealt as a wrong word, having talked with Christian before Brett came in, and then also just with the fan league, how it was when it was the sole one. It really just comes down to, how would it look if John Roca lost to me in a trivia match? Like, that wouldn't look good for Christian. It would look great for us, but that would not affect his brand well. It's the same reason as to why, and I know this because Andrew Guy I've talked to him about this, same reason why Dan Merle is never going to play Andrew Guy again. Because what if he loses to Andrew Guy in the Schmoedown again, which can happen? Don't look good for him. Doesn't help him at all. So competing in the fan leagues doesn't really help the competitors. It can only John Roca comes on, kicks my ass in a trivia match. Okay, cool. The movie Trivia Schmoedown champ kicked the dude behind the computer's ass. Worst case scenario, I TKO him. And how the fuck does that look for the champ? Not well.
Yeah. For me, it doesn't. You know what? For me, it's just a matter of if you're good enough, then you're good enough. If you know the movies, you know the movies. If you don't, then you don't. And it doesn't matter what trivia league you're in. It does not matter. It's what Dan Merle said at the end of his last match. You either know the movies or you don't. And if you don't, you lose.
Correct.
Simple as that.
You don't take that risk. As Harloff, you can't take that risk.
No, I agree. I agree with that.
suicide.
I'm just saying that if you want to prop yourself up as the premier movie trivia league on the internet, then you have to be open to everything, because if you're propping your guy up as the movie trivia schmodown champion of the world and he can't answer a deep, Lord of the Rings cut or a deep, whatever else cut, then you know what? I wouldn't be propping yourself up that high, because there are leagues that ask these type of questions and have people answering them on a regular. Like, what's Robert's answering percentage in Geek? Like 90%.
It's now around 70 in multiplex, but yeah, I 100% agree with you.
It's you. You know what? I wouldn't be scared. If I was Christian, I understand why he's not doing it. But if I was Christian, I wouldn't be scared. And if I was Roca, I wouldn't be scared either. You want to be the champ, then you take on everybody. But I know that's not going to happen, so I don't think about it. So it doesn't really matter to me. So
I don't know. I'd love to get. This will never happen, but I'd love to get Christian on here. I know he's super busy, but just more so to like, I don't know.
I can promise you this: if Sandy starts saying stuff like what he's saying now, I might get a message from Christian later on tonight. That's for certain. And we're like, Kurt, what's going on?
No, and Christian is more than welcome to have a civilized conversation with me. Absolutely. If he wants. I've spoken to him before. I'm not slagging anybody. I did not say anything bad about anybody. I'm just saying that if you want to prop up your champions as the champions of the world in movie trivia, they shouldn't be afraid to go against anybody. And it wouldn't matter to me if you want to avoid any kind of cheating or any kind of like question giving, have your own guy write the questions. I don't care. But you guys, if that's what has to happen, if Roca wants to play Jeremy, or if Rachel or Mara wants to play Robert in fandom, guess what? Then you make it so the cameras are up and you have to stand up the whole time and everybody's there, and you use the questions that your guys does. I'm saying that it looks like you're scared when you do stuff like that. It looks like you're scared. It just does. For me, it does. If you're not
a 300,000 view, $500,000 of 1,000 subscribers to what we do here, they're not terrified. That's just smart business play.
Yeah,
they gain nothing if they
gain nothing. You're right. Absolutely.
If they put John Roca versus Jeremy, that means nothing to anybody. But the whole thing is, you gain people, you get them into the league, and that's how you play. I just think it's not. They're not scared whatsoever. It's just just because I talk to you over the internet doesn't mean I can trust a dang word that you say. Like they've made so many mistakes in the Schmodown that they've had to recover from. They're on a perfect spiral right now. I don't think there's any scared about it. I honestly don't.
Malcolm.
And I mean, I think, and the other thing is, I think Christian's kind of being cautious, because I think if it did happen and Roca lost to, let's say, Jeremy for argument's sake, then it could fuel the fire of people going, it's proof that Christian rigs the Schmodown and all that stuff.
No.
I think he's probably being cautious of that as well, maybe.
Yeah, no. First off, there is nobody that works or goes on the Schmodown that would ever treat the league that way. So no, Christian and Mark and the Schmodown are above board 150%. There's no question about that. The Schmodown is awesome. We all get our start because of the Schmodown, and we all play trivia because of the Schmodown. So their contributions to what this has all become online and everything is great. What I'm saying is that take Tim Franco, just a reactor, just a player. He goes in, destroys Matt Atchity. So why? And we haven't seen him again, obviously, so he hasn't had a second match or anything like that. That's fine, but he's a fan. Chance, a fan. Whoever else joins from the fan leagues, joins the fan. Those are fans. So you're now plucking talent from the fan leagues, but you're discounting the fan leagues. Like, that's my problem. You're now taking our champions and our great players, but not giving where they started. They're just desserts.
Yeah. I wanted. Yeah, that's really good. I wanted to have like a healthy conversation, and I think we did. I would like once again. I'd love to have sort of Christian on here to sort of like elaborate more on it, and then maybe get that brace going together as Cody shakes his head furiously.
There's no elaboration. He runs the Premier League. There's no chance in hell he's letting anybody play anywhere. We're astronomical to think
that's not what we're asking.
We're saying that we're not giving credit to credit due, and I understand that, but how can we? Like, no offense, our fan trivia community has not had the best string in the past year. Let's be real. We've had breakups, we've had things, we've had rebrands, we've had throwaways. It's too rough to throw anybody to trust anybody. If this wasn't this current iteration and Christian said, let's do a match, I wouldn't trust it as far as we could throw it. Full Metal? Sure. I trust the guys on Full Metal 100%. But the last iteration, I don't know if I fully trust that. That's just the facts of the facts.
And Cody, you're 100% right. There, as a business person, and as a business, I respect what Christian is doing. Keep your players and your players separate from everybody else, because that is where we all gravitate to. You're absolutely right. You don't take the chance because you it's like, why would you put Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles in a regular SmackDown match when it can be when you get pay-per-view buys on it, right? So you wouldn't do that. So I understand and respect what Christian is doing. I'm just saying that if you're going to start pulling talent away from these leagues, then you need to give these leagues the credit and the gravitas that they are now actually getting the talent from. It's coming from somewhere, and that means our leagues are doing something for them, and that's all I'm saying.
I think Alex Warden actually put it best, is that we are essentially the NXT to WWE in a way. Like the call up rate is exponentially lower. But there's always that possibility.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, I'm not about
9 o'clock my time. We haven't even hit press conference or movie news, so we probably need to hit something like that.
I was trying to get there as a host, as somebody who hosts for more than 15 minutes.
I pronounced the show correctly tonight, just to let you know. Go ahead.
What's that word again? Climactic?
You're going to pick up on one time. You can't even say late night with Take 3. Why don't you
that was one time. You're applying the same argument.
It was numerous times.
One time. Are we going to do this right now? We've been doing so well. We went to that counseling. Went to the counseling. I made you supper tonight. Why are you being so mean?
It was burnt and cold.
I'm so happy that we had to get right on to the next topic, and that topic was Cody in Brooklyn going at her.
All right, moving along, host. I got
Robert, mom, and dad are working on this. We still love all of our children very, very much, even though some of them are balding a little bit earlier than we anticipated. But enough about that. Let's move into the interview process. Originally, I was going to have a gentleman by the name of Ryan Scoubert, but unfortunately, life found a way and life got a little busy. So we wanted to move back into the fan community side, and something that I'm kind of surprised about, we haven't interviewed one of the first people to sort of pioneer this community, and that would be one Matthew Kearns. So I'll open it up. Matthew, you're part of the group that sort of got this thing rolling. I mean, obviously with obviously with Hate Productions and the family and just the relationships that you've been able to create. What is your thought process on the growth of the last essentially 2 years?
It is, to put it in a word, it is crazy. To expand on that more, and in a good way, I remember when, Take 3 was just a podcast, and then the Fan Schmodown leak started. And that was sort of where everything built out of. And I mean, you can still find the post on, I think it was Schmoeville. I'm not even sure if the MTS group existed when this was happening, but there was just a page where it was like, if you were competing in the Schmoedown, who in Schmoeville would you play? And a bunch of us were like, I played this person in this match and everything. And then a bunch of the original guys just kind of got together and they went, hey, let's do this. Christian and Mark were okay with it. And I was one of the first people they contacted. And so at first I was just a competitor. And then somehow I just had an idea for a show, and that's how I joined Take 3. But then I kind of just to see what people like you and Sandy and Cody and then Full Metal and Multiplex and all of you guys have done. It's really crazy because back when we were doing the Fan Schmoedown League, it was just like we never would have imagined it be where it is so soon. So it is really crazy in a really great way to see a lot of people just doing what they love to do.
All right, I'm going to open it up to the panel. If you guys have any questions.
I figured you got 5 questions. Okay,
oh,
sorry.
my God.
No.
I love talking about myself, so I'd be fine with that tonight.
Cody.
So, out of all the Schmoedown competitors that started, were you just a bandwagon fan and just started to jump on Mark Riley because he was champion, or like why did you gravitate to Yodi first of all of them?
No, actually, no. That's a great question. I became a fan of Mark from the Schmoedown live show. A little bit before the Schmoedown even came back. And then when John Campia dropped his promo on Dan Merle, I was like, what's this Schmoedown thing? And then I started watching all the 2014-2015 matches. And by the time I was kind of caught up with that, Riley's title match with JTE happened, and I saw the way he just demolished. And again, I was already a fan of his, so no, I was not a bandwagoner. But yeah, that's an interesting question. No one's ever asked me. No, I was not a bandwagoner. I was certainly the only one on the wagon after his semifinal match against John Rogan in 2016. I remember that. I was certainly the only one there. But no, I was not a bandwagoner. I was a fan of his from the live show.
Sorry, my client. I have to make a fact check for earlier. My fact check for my client is in Full Metal Geek, he's 100% accuracy, and in Fandom, it's 77%. Just so everybody knows where my client stands, and we can just move on now. Next question for Matt.
Once again, your client, not you.
Next question.
We're a team. Manager of the year.
Who's your least favorite character on The Flash?
That's easy. It's Iris. She does nothing. And somehow she's leader of Team Flash. How? Like, you were a horrible reporter. You have your dad who's been a detective for years. You have Barry who's the Flash. Cisco who's Vibe. You have Caitlin who is both a scientist and Killer Frost, also Cisco scientist. You have the multiple Harrison Wells. And then you got Iris, who's like, I write a blog. I should really be able to run Team Flash. No, I hate Iris. Malcolm remembers when season 3 was happening, I was like, kill Iris. Let's do it. Let's get rid of her. Get her off the show. I don't care. I feel nothing for this character. Nothing against the actress. It's just her character is terrible. Bring Patty back. Wow.
Cool. Oh, Sandy, yeah.
I see how little you guys actually care about getting to know me. Sandy, go.
All right. So, Matt, you and I have become close over the last, few months, and I really appreciate that. The one thing that I haven't actually asked you during our many conversations, what movie did you see in the theater that really, really, really made you want to discuss and talk about movies?
In the theater? That's a great question. I mean it. I'm trying to not go with the stereotypical answers. I mean, it probably would have to be Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. That was one of the first movies I saw in theaters. And I remember the thing about it was my brother was a little bit too young to be able to go and sit through it in a theater. So my dad took me and my two older sisters to go and see it. And I mean, there was this whole thing like, this is before Fandango, so we drove to sort of the shopping area where our movie theater is, and my dad went in to get the tickets, and then he came back and he didn't tell us he got the tickets. He's just like, oh, I just like the smell of popcorn, because and then he surprised us that we were going. But because my mom and my brother couldn't go, it was one of the first times that I came home and was able to talk about a movie I saw that my family hadn't seen, because usually we all went to movies together. And I just remember coming home that night, just talking to my mom about, the Quidditch match and everything. So it's probably, Sorcerer's Stone is probably the first one from theaters. If we're talking about other, stuff, that's probably Iron Giant but Harry Potter and Sorcerer's Stone.
Nice. Good job.
Thanks.
All right. So, because we're
no
running.
one else has any more questions for me. Okay. Let's see, Brooklyn. You don't have,
every time I ask more than one question, Cody's
like I
oh
said,
my God,
I'm
Cody
a
asked more than
camera
one
whore. So any more questions you have for me, you're welcome.
Well,
this is my week. Damn it! This is my week. My week. People keep not realizing this is.
That's why
week.
I'm being interviewed.
I know, it's so weird.
Robert, yes, we will go back to couples therapy. This is not just a one-time thing. This is a slow process that mommy and daddy need to work on. So before we go back to couples therapy, let's play a game called Press Conference. Matt, you actually are the Colin Mockery of today. For those of you who don't know, one of the greatest TV shows ever, Whose Line Is It Anyway, hosted by Clive Anderson and then Drew Carey. The great Canadian Colin Mockery get up on a podium and announce a press conference. The catch was he had no idea what he was announcing, but the other panelists, often Ryan Stiles, Greg Proops, and Wayne Brady, would give him hints in the form of questions, and after a while, Colin would eventually figure it out, or we would just tell him. So, before we start, Sandy, Malcolm, Cody, did you all receive the message that I gave you a little bit earlier today?
Yep.
Alrighty, I see Dad is drunk once again. Matt, please call this press conference to order.
All right, in the words of the great Harrison Ford, let's get this over with. I don't want to be here. You know that. Boston Red Sox, what do you got?
Hi, my name's Cody Newberry. This is
don't give a shit.
Brooklyn's,
where's your question?
Brooklyn's a
don't give a fuck. Where's your question?
Why did you start working where you work? Like, why did you start working there?
Money. Bitches and coke ain't free. Glasses.
Malcolm here from Brooklyn and Cody Get a Room. Weekly.
That sounds like a joke someone made before, but a lot less funny. But continue.
Why'd you pick this moment to reveal yourself?
Well, of course, there's no cops around, so. But that's the perfect time.
See, that's when you can actually laugh, because he ended the sentence right there.
Got that right. Sentence might end there, but it doesn't. I can promise you that. All right, fine. Canadian.
Hi, Brooklyn Vale from Cody Blows a Lot of Bubblegum.
Bet he does.
He does. He blows a lot of other things too.
Like
who were you trying to fool with this sort of move? Yeah,
dumbass who can't say late night with take 3. That's what I'm trying to fool. Next question. Better Canadian.
I'm just going to jump off the other Canadian's question and say, what made you think that this particular way that you went would work for so long?
For so long? Well, here's the thing. I'm me. And the thing about me is winners prosper, losers don't, and I'm a winner. So, yeah, next question. Red Sox.
So will you still be using a phone booth as often as you did before?
I would, except the hobo urine. It hurts my super senses. Put that hand down, Canadian. New Zealander, what do you got?
Did you ever think mustache would help conceal your identity more?
You know what? I did, but then a bunch of bratty-ass kids on Twitter made fun of me, so I decided to get rid of it. But don't worry, my CGI was real convincing. All right, fine, Canadian, what do you got?
I just want to ask, how's Jimmy taking this?
Next question. I'm not answering that. Next question. Better Canadian.
All right. How did the people that are surrounding your circle of friends, how did they take the news of how you revealed this particular issue to the one you revealed it to?
Well, here's the thing. The redhead, he was a little bitch about it. The brunette chick, she was all over me. The old man in the office, he can give a fuck. Next question. All right, fine. New Zealander.
What did your cousin make of the news?
You think I care about that bitch? Next question. All right, fine. Red Sox.
Oh, will you stop wearing glasses?
It depends. I might, if I want to look a little bit smarter. All right, fine, Canadian.
I imagine that Bruce somewhere kissing himself laughing over his decision.
You know what the funny thing is? Your connection was shitty, so I couldn't hear that question, so I will not answer it. Next question. No one got anything?
All
right, I'm going to assume that I'm Superman and revealed it to everyone, or...
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty close.
I was like,
pretty
this
close.
Camera whore will keep this on him the entire show if we don't stop this.
But so what was it exactly? What was Brooklyn's birthday?
That's exactly it.
It was that. Yeah, you were Superman revealing that you were Clark Kent.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That was a fun one. Well, that was fun.
I've never.
It would have been better if you actually answered a fucking question. Like I tried to give you good hints, and then you're like, nope. Next question.
Yeah, obviously.
I love that it was Harrison Ford playing Clark Kent. Well,
because have you guys ever seen the it's from Awesome-tacular. It's when Jamie Costa was playing Harrison Ford in the Blade Runner, and he literally just starts with, "All right, let's get this over with. I want to be here. You know that." So I just decided to do that for the whole thing. That was a fun one.
I'm imagining Superman talking about bitches and money all the time.
I'm trying to remember which question it was when it was different by the time Malcolm had his question about Kara. I was like, oh, okay, unless I thought it was you guys trying to say that like I Matt Kearns was Superman and I was revealing.
No, God.
Okay.
No,
all right, guys, let's. Okay, go ahead.
No, the actual was that you were revealing your secret to Lois Lane for the first time. So you're really, really close.
And Lois, it is real and it is spectacular.
I love that
reference for all of y'all.
I love that bit in Family Guy where Lois and all the girls are crying.
Oh my God.
Lois, what's wrong? Oh, the doctors told us that our breasts have been examined for 5 hours a day, every day for the last 3 years. Oh no, that's terrible news. First every one of them I've ever met, and now you guys.
No one cares about Family Guy. Let's move along.
Wow.
All right, so let's move on to the news. Well, everybody seems just uninterested as fuck. I imagine if I talk about baseball, you guys, I'll be jerking off at the moment.
What are we talking about?
Can we just pause for a second here? Hey, Jonathan Peck. 1, I don't have an ego problem. 2, that's my real hair.
Dude, I'm defending you. Don't worry, man. I got
fuck
that.
off.
Hate is gonna hate.
Don't make him do his Mark Riley.
Cody turned the hat backwards. Shit got real.
Oh, it's over the top time, baby.
Ready.
John Roca, that helped John Roca win the title. So.
Did it?
Yeah.
I mean, at least John had hair to like come out of the front. So.
Oh my! Why are you being so mean, man?
Oh,
What did Cody ever do?
Okay, you know what? Sometimes you have to give it back. You know, Cody just uses me as a punching bag. Sometimes the punching bag is going to come back.
Listen,
hey, I bet you give it back
until
to
I
him.
met you, and now it's all going because you stress me out.
So how about that movie news?
Yeah, how about that movie news?
Let me go.
Anyone of your multiple personalities, Matt, is going to read the news. Will it be Vinny? Will it be Kermit? Will it be your recovering alcoholic cousin, uncle?
There's a lot to read.
There is a lot to read.
Yeah.
Damn you, Malcolm.
Let me go and get him. Okay.
You know, hey, Malcolm is doing a really good job of gathering the news. He would get 10 points for Griffin Hufflepuff. Huffle. I feel like Malcolm's a Hufflepuff.
He's a Hufflepuff.
According to Pottermore, I am, yeah.
Oh, cool. 10 points. 10 points for Gryffindor.
No one likes your jokes.
All right, Matt. Which distant relative or cousin did you bring us?
Hey guys, this is Vinny's uncle. It is Uncle Marty. I'm here from New York, and I'm going to talk about the news. You know what? I don't know who the fuck you are, but you better shut your mouth before a New Yorker comes and smacks the shit out of it.
He's definitely related to Vinny. There's no question about that.
Got that right, whatever the fuck your name is.
It's just fuck.
Yeah, I bet it is.
That's what she said.
You know what that? Yeah, that's what I'm said. Okay, so I'm here. I'm reading the fucking movie news. You know why? Because it's Uncle Marty with the fucking movie news. So first up, all you little babies, you had to get your movie trailers. You didn't get your Avengers 4 trailer, but y'all are crying about that still. But you did get trailers for Stan and Ollie, The Lion King. Wait a second, what the fuck? Did The Lion King come out in the 90s? I swear to God, I was drunk when I took Vinny to see that.
Let's not start on that. We've kept Cody pretty calm for the last little bit. So.
Okay, What Men Want. We all know what that is. It's sex. That's the answer. I solved the movie for you. Then we got Artemis Fowl. What the fuck? And what the fuck? Captain Marvel and Happy Death Day to You. They really made a sequel to that first piece of shit. I think I was still an alcoholic when that came out, the first one. Okay, this is a little sad. The Steven Hillenburg, he made SpongeBob. He's dead. It's very sad. We're going to have a moment of silence for him. There we go. Sorry. Rest in peace, sir. You made a lot of kids laugh. I know Matt was one of them. Okay, next we got Zoe Deutsch and Ava Georgia. They signed on to a Zombieland sequel. I don't give a shit. When's Bill Murray coming back? Then we got Rita Morin. She's returned to West Side Story as Valentine. Did anyone give a fuck about this movie? Anyone? Any of you? I didn't think so. Here's something you all do care about, which is Spider-Man into the Spideyverse sequel and all-female spinoff in the works. Because you guys just need more of your comic book shit out there, right? Yeah, right? No Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, but you get all your comic book shit. Next, we got Danielle Brew and Charles Dance. They joined the Kingsman prequel. What the fuck is the Kingsman? Okay, next we got Dear Evan Hansen movie is in the works. Now, here's the thing. I once snuck a date into the production of Evan Hansen. It didn't work out so well. She just wanted dinner, not dessert. If you're over 12, you know what I'm talking about. Next, we got DC's developing a Blue Beetle movie. More comic book shit. Yay. Next, we got Tom Hanks. He's in talks to play Geppetto, misspelling intentional, in Pinocchio live-action movie. Now, I don't know what Geppetto misspelling intentional is, but is fucking Disney, so we'll make some money. Next, we got Marvel Studios. They're fast-tracking Shang-Chi movie. The fuck is that? That sounds like something my buddy Wang would say. He'd be like, "Oh, Sing Chang, Matt, Mark, yeah, that's my name, Mark, definitely."
Nice.
Next we got Daniel O'Brien is voicing Bumblebee, like a Bumblebee. I don't know. There's a lot of news to read. Next, the Annie Award nominations are announced. To which everyone goes, "What's the Annie Awards?" I bet you that Caroline Frank over there, she probably doesn't even read that the Annie Awards. Next we got M. Night. Tales from the Crypt reboot no longer happening. Ooh, I guess that was the twist no one expected. Next we got Universal. They're working on an original musical based on Prince songs. Guys, you already made that movie. It was called Purple Rain. It's freaking awesome. Just re-release it. Next, we got, oh Christ, Kevin Hart's going to host the Oscars, which means I'm going to host a hangover the morning after the Oscars. Next, we got the Golden Globes nominations. I don't care. Next, we got Anne Hathaway in talks for the Sesame Street movie. Now, here's the thing. You want to get the real Sesame Street, you hire me and Vinny to be in it. And we'll do it with Anne Hathaway. Don't worry. Next, we got Jake Gyllenhaal. More comic book crap. Do you guys even care? Who's Mysterio? But that Gyllenhaal guy, he's playing it. Now, okay, this is pretty cool. Joe Pantoliano's returning for Bad Boys 3. That's pretty sweet. That's pretty awesome. And finally, Tiffany Haddish. She's in talks for 21 Jump Street reboot. Didn't they record that already? Like, didn't they make that movie? Didn't that, like, comic booky guy and the chick from Creed? Didn't they do that shit already? Regardless, that's finally it for the movie news this week. It's me, Vinny's Uncle Mark. Y'all can follow me on the street in New York because I don't do the social medias. Now get out of here.
All right. One question. Marty, I have a question for you before you go.
What?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how many hours a day do you waste chain smoking? Because boy, that voice is some gravelly.
I have a question for you. On a scale of 1 to 10, how many fucks do you think I give about this? You can answer it yourself, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's great. You know what? Go fuck yourself.
Are you sure Patty and Selma are your sisters? Huh?
Oh, cool. Right. I can reference movies too. E.T., Phone Home, whatever. Fuck you.
Shut up, Marty.
All right, so movie news.
Shut up, Red Sox.
You mad now?
Matt, I gotta say, your roommates are getting pretty rowdy. Like, you gotta do something about that, man.
You're telling me.
All right, so movie news. Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. Cool, but I kind of wish that they would they'd hide out, like they'd surprise reveal those in the movie, sort of like how Matt Damon was revealed in Interstellar. No one really knew. That's something that I miss. Kevin Hart hosting the Oscars. Boo! I don't like that choice at all. It's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse getting a sequel. No surprise. Studios like money.
It's true.
The trailers. I have not seen this Captain Marvel trailer and the Avengers 4, like where it is. I can wait. I'm not in a rush because I like the speculation that they're sort of creating with the delay. Matt, what is the movie news that sent it to you, read by your interesting cousin Uncle Marty?
It's not mine. It's Vinny's. He's not related to me. I don't give a fuck about him. Well, the first one is Steven Hillenburg passing away. For as much as it annoyed my mother to no end, I watched SpongeBob a lot growing up. It's just one of those crazy things. It's kind of like losing Stan Lee and then losing Steven Hillenburg. It's like two guys that shaped my childhood in a way, passing away. You know, you can say SpongeBob is annoying, and it is, but he gave me nothing but laughs. So I really just want to say to Steven Hillenburg, you know, thank you for the laughs. To move on to happier things than that, because I know we don't like talking about that. I saw the Captain Marvel trailer. You're not really missing too much. It's kind of just like an extended trailer to the last one they released. That's my thing. It's like it's kind of more like I didn't really feel like I got more from last trailer. That's my own personal feelings on it. The movie still looks great. And have we talked to Sesame Street movie? What Sesame Street movie? Why have I not heard about this? Like, the last time I heard about a Sesame Street movie, it was Follow That Bird, which is a great movie, but what is this? What role would she have to play? Yeah, what the fuck is this?
Follow That Bird. That's good.
It's a great movie.
That's good.
All right, Mr. Newberry, I know you were shaking your head there whenever I mentioned the sort of reveal thing for Mysterio. Why is that, and what other movie news stood up to you this week?
We don't live in that society anymore. So if you want that, then you're never going to get that again. Because people, even if they try to keep it, somebody will leak it, or somebody will. I work on the cell phone industry, and you try to keep secrets about what the new phones are. They already know before it is. It's just not the society we live in anymore. I do miss it, but there's nothing you can do, so nothing to worth complain about it. Weird that you said Spider-Verse because people need money. This movie has not yet hit the United States yet.
Yeah.
So we don't even know for sure if it's going to be a success. I am so excited for this movie because of everybody's raving about it. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I'm going to save everybody's time and not talk much about The Lion King because, boy, am I just super disappointed. I think the biggest news that drives me nuts in this is probably Kevin Hart hosting the Oscars. We have a huge problem with they want to streamline and get more people to watch the Oscars and blah, blah, blah. I've said this numerous times. If you want people to watch the Oscars, you need to let the Oscars be streamable. You can't just let people that only have cable be able to watch ABC on the go. Like, that's your main problem. That's why I couldn't watch the Oscars last year, which I normally watch them every year. But Kevin Hart is the worst host that you could possibly pick for the Oscars, for my opinion, because short jokes are going to get real old as the night goes on. And the biggest problem with the Oscars is there's way too much stuff that the host does. They bring people in across the street. They give them food. They talk to them. They do monologues. We just want to know who won. Like, the people that watch the Oscars enjoy the show. So let's just get that going. But yeah, by the way, Lion King trailer, yes, it's shot for shot what the movie, the 94 movie is. What a shocker. This isn't live action. It's the last time I'll say this. It is a new method of animation. That is basically what there is no human element of the Lion King. It's National Geographic that sings songs. It's a pointless remake. James Earl Jones sounds old as hell because he doesn't sound like Mufasa before, but we brought him back, but we don't bring back Jeremy Irons, and we cut songs. Doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know, besides the cash grab. This is the definition of a cash grab.
Alrighty. Sandy. Movie news.
All right, I'm not gonna touch the Lion King one because it'll just set Cody off. Artemis Fowl, the trailer for Artemis Fowl. Really interested in it. I read all the books. I really enjoyed the character. I thought it was at the time a little too closely mirroring Harry Potter, but the books are actually really intelligent and fun. But the trick about this, and they didn't give too much away in that teaser, which I'm glad. The kid has to be dead on. Artemis has to be dead on, because if he's not, then it'll make the movie stupid. I'm really looking forward to seeing a full length trailer on that one. The Captain Marvel trailer is fantastic. I love it. If the movie is half as good as I think it's going to be in my top 5 Marvel movies of all time. I am anticipating this movie almost as much as I am anticipating Avengers 4. I have been for a long time now. I love the Nova Corps. I love Nova as a character. I love Captain Marvel as a character. So I'm really excited about this. Not a big Brie Larson fan, but I'm hoping that she translates over on this one. Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, I'm going to echo what Cody said. It hasn't even been released here, and we already have news that a sequel is coming out. Okay, thanks. We haven't even seen the movie. but go ahead. The Daniel Bruhl and Charles Dance joining the Kingsman prequel. Like I said, okay, whatever. It's fine. The fact that Eggsy isn't in this one just doesn't do anything for me. So I would rather see a progression of the story instead of going backwards. Tom Hanks in place to play Geppetto. That's kind of cool. It'll be interesting to see. Dylan O'Brien voices Bumblebee. I don't necessarily want to talk about Dylan O'Brien voicing Bumblebee. I do want everybody to give this movie a shot because I do think it's the Transformers movie that we've been waiting for. And I think a lot of people are going to think they're going to get burned on this one like they did before, but I think it looks really, really good. And this is somebody who came off of the last night having fallen asleep watching it twice. So, and I love the Transformers, so I'm really looking forward to this one. The last thing I will say, the two last things, Kevin Hart hosting the Oscars. I have had it up to here with that high-pitched yelling that he does, what he calls talking. It annoys me. I'm done. I don't need to see him in very much. He needs to take a step back and just, and get back to being funny, because he's not anymore. And Tiffany Haddish in talks for 21 Jump Street reboot. Really, because we just had a 21 Jump Street and a 22 Jump Street come out this freaking decade. Why are we rebooting this? It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I don't get it. So for me, that means nothing. I am happy that Jake Gyllenhaal is playing Mysterio. He can play a really creepy guy, and that's what Mysterio is. So I think that's a good choice. But other than that, I agree with Matt. I do the Prince thing, musical based on Prince songs. Yeah, just re-release and update in 4K Purple Rain, and you'll get the whole movie. So, but I'm still interested in it because I love Prince. So that's it.
I recently listened to some of his newer albums, and that is a discussion for later. But there's actually a slight fact check on the 22 Jump Street thing. Jonathan Peck has in the chat here that I guess Jeff Snyder has. I don't think it's confirmed yet, but he believes that that this new movie is actually taking place within the first two. So it's sort of like a spin-off ish. I don't understand why.
Wasn't the Men in Black supposed to join it? Is it
Maybe?
Men in Black supposed to join this?
Possibly. I'm not sure.
That was when I made the joke during the news. That was Men in Black. Was what I was thinking about.
Now, Malcolm, what is the? You gathered a plethora of news this week. What were some of the gems?
Yeah, I mean, the reason it was a lot, some of them was leftover ones I thought was still important to talk about that I brought over to this week. But
you didn't. I just realized you didn't bring over Stallone. Thanks, Malcolm.
I didn't want to hear Vinny cry about it. So, but anyway, with the Jump Street one, Bibbs said something on Twitter which would be interesting if they did it, because he says that if they did it as a sequel and had it making fun of reboots and the fact that a lot of studios choose to reboot things 5 years after they've already had a sequel, so that could be interesting if they go that way. I mean, the Captain Marvel trailer I enjoyed, but with Matt, it was a lot of. There was a few of them which was just longer shots from the first one. I mean, it's at this point they've already got my money to go see it. I mean, I'm going to see it anyway. And I mean, apparently we're going to get a Spider-Man Far From Home trailer this week, and the Avengers 4 trailer we were going to get this week. I don't know if that's happening, but I'm not too worried if we don't get it. So
we're getting an Avengers 4 trailer this week. Like Half-Life 3 is being confirmed.
Yeah, well,
and like Bad Boys 3 is going through.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason they moved it from when they were going to do it was they're going to do it on Wednesday, but because it was a day of mourning for Bush.
President Bush.
That's what a lot of people would say, that's why they moved it. I don't know why that would be the reason.
A respect thing. You don't release something that takes the news away. Yeah, I get it.
Well, that's why the mail doesn't run in the States.
Regarding the Jump Street thing, I feel like that's sort of like a rehash of 22 Jump Street, because 22 Jump Street, they were like, oh, sequels, we're just doing the exact same thing. So then it's like in this reboot spin-off, whatever you call it, is, oh, we're going to do the exact same thing, but instead of sequels, we'll do it with reboots or spin-offs. But the discussion point that I wanted to bring up is with Kevin Hart hosting the Oscars. For me, sort of an offhand kind of pick. I'm surprised they didn't go back to like their usual route of like late night hosts or stand-up comedians. Who would you guys like to see return or maybe make their debut in hosting? My 3 picks. Number 1, John Mulaney. I think he would thrive. I think John Mulaney would do really well in that setting. Number 2, I would love to see Seth MacFarlane return. I know I'm in a minority there, but I loved his hosting.
Gosh,
horrible.
I understand that I'm in the minority there. And number 3, I don't know. I forget if it was Robert or Linus or somebody in the community said it. But whoever did, props to them because they came up with the idea first. The Muppets would be kind of interesting to host the Oscars.
What? The Muppets?
Again, the petition is at BrooklynIsADouchebag.com. Just come and find it.
I'm not saying like the Muppets are hosting the Oscars next year. I'm saying like these.
We know you don't have that pull. We know you don't have that pull. We need you to clarify that you're not in charge of who the host is. Gosh,
he's writing his own position.
Brooklyn, that you're
all right, Cody. You like to shit on my picks. Let me shit on yours. Who are 3 people that you would like to see debut or return?
If it's not broke, don't fix it. I think Neil Patrick Harris is a perfect host for that event. Adds great monologues. I think James Corden is also a fantastic host and could be. He is super funny. I think he's great. And he can make a lot of jokes with that. And I would also like Billy Crystal to come back for one. I absolutely love Billy Crystal. He is one of my favorite comedians and actors of all time. I feel like he would bring back some normalcy to the Oscars when he used to do it. So I would want Billy Crystal. Nobody shit on mine. Isn't that interesting?
I hate James Corden. I understand that I'm in a minority there. I would actually
Seth MacFarlane. We're fine.
I would rather Jimmy Fallon over James Corden.
Oh gosh.
Mash. Cool.
So,
I'm gonna stay quiet.
I have 4.
So you only get 3.
Oh, really? Oh. So for returning, Hugh Jackman. He was the host of the Oscars the first year I actually started watching the Oscars. But it was a lot of fun. He's multi-talented. He's a really awesome guy. And then for new hosts, I think Dwayne Johnson would actually be a really good host for the Oscars. He just has that charisma that I would actually sit there and watch him. He's also funny. He's presented a lot at the Oscars, and he's always there. They always cut to him. And then I'm not sure if he's ever hosted the Oscar before, but if he hasn't, I think John Goodman would actually be really good at hosting the Oscars. I think he would be a really good Oscar host. John Goodman,
that option.
Who wouldn't want to watch the Oscars with John Goodman? He wouldn't be an asshole to anyone, but he would still be really funny. That was my issue when Ellen DeGeneres hosted the Oscars. She was kind of an asshole to a lot of people, and I was like, wow, this is really out of character for you. But John Goodman wouldn't do that. He would just be, the man's hosted Saturday Night Live how many times? He definitely can hold a live crowd for an extended period of time. So those are my 1 returning and then my 2 newbies.
Malcolm.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of Kevin Hart hosting the Oscars. He annoys me, and I said jokingly on Gone for the Wind I would have much rather James Franco and Anne Hathaway come back over Kevin Hart. I don't know. I don't like him that much. But anyway, my picks for who I want to host. Cody actually stole mine. Neil Patrick Harris would be great. There's this guy. He looks good in an orange suit. He loves carrots, particularly baby carrots. Mark Ellis would be great hosting the Oscars. And they could also get Josh McCougan. They could both host the Oscars together. That's never going to happen.
The day that Mark Ellis and Josh McCouga host the Oscars is the same day that myself and Cody Newberry get called to the showdown. There's a small chance in hell.
Wait, Brooklyn, can you make that happen? Because apparently you can make people the host of the Oscars. So can't you just take control of that?
I mean, I can try and see what happens.
And
Sandy.
I appreciate that.
Anyway, I didn't finish my picks, but okay.
Cool. No, sorry, Malcolm, finish it.
And actually, an interesting one will be to have Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans host it in Iron Man and Captain America outfits.
That sounds terrible.
Do you want to kill them?
And you guys thought my Muppet choice was bad.
No, I like that one more than the Muppet.
But think about it though, the Muppets would bring in a different sort of demographic.
Bro, listen, and I love the Muppets, but here's the thing. Physically
everybody
speaking,
take a drink. Here's the thing. Everybody take a drink.
Oh God, Brooklyn, can you come up with more than one joke for God's sakes?
Anyway,
wait until the mood,
He really can't.
Yeah,
Sandy.
that's what I thought.
Sandy, what picks would you have?
All right, so my returning pick, Cody already mentioned. I love every single, and I hate the Oscars, but I actually love every single Oscars that Billy Crystal has done. So I would love to see him come back. He's getting older. We're not going to have him for too much longer. Hold on. I'm knocking on wood that that's not
something
true.
I don't know?
No. But I mean, everybody gets older and everybody passes away. So I would rather get him still, on top of his game to do a couple more and play there. As for new hosts, you know what? I really enjoyed Ricky Gervais's brand of comedy for the Golden Globes. So I think he would be a great choice to host the Oscars. And then my last one is pretty unconventional, but I think it might be actually pretty funny, is if you got Jimmy Kimmel and Matt Damon and Ben Affleck to host together.
Yes,
that would be because of the relationship they've already put together on the show. I think that would be a funny. It would be a funny hosting.
What they did
job.
at the World Series was great. It was
Exactly.
Oh my God!
And
then poor Ben Affleck just sat in the wrong seat at the wrong time.
Exactly. But I think that would be, if you were going to go for something kind of kooky, that would be a good way to go.
Yeah. All right. We are going into the theme. I guess this is Cody's week. So Cody, what is this? What was the thing for your week?
I wanted to talk about animated movies.
So we're actually not going to do that. We're gonna go right into the debates.
Okay.
All right. Oh. Yeah. Sorry. No, I tried to segue a little bit differently, but it's times for me. Time is a little bit on a crunch because work loves to put me on closes and then opens. So we're gonna omit the discussion. I'm gonna get right into.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I know. I'm being legit serious. No. Yeah.
We will talk in depth next week. That's fine with me.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Cody's week will never end.
It's like my wife's birthday month. It's just the whole month, not a day.
That's my month. March is my month. I celebrate every day. It's great.
There you go.
Oh yeah. I feel bad.
It's cool.
Yeah. All right. So because there are only 4 competitors, Cody does not get the champion's edge. So how it's gonna work, guys? You guys know how it works. 20-second opening, 15-second rebuttal. it goes semifinals, finals, and then we get a winner. Will Cody defend this title yet again? There's a good chance. You know, he picked animated movies, so I'm sure he knows Figure 5 about them. So we're going to pair it up here. Cody, since you are the champion, please pick a number between 1 and 4.
I'm going to go with 1.
1? All right. Matt, since you are the most recent champion, recent former champion, pick 4, 2, or 3.
3.
3. Sandy.
2.
Okay, and then Malcolm, you are left with 4, which means that we're getting a civil war. We're getting Rhyme and Reason Civil War, and then Cody versus Malcolm. I'm not making this up. So the way you guys paired it up. So because Cody's a champion, he will battle second, which means that we'll get Matt and Sandy first. Matt, because you are the most recent champion, pick a number between 1 and 5.
2.
2. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. All right, so question number 2. And once again, if I hear you first, you're going to go first. Question is, what superhero would benefit the most from a Lego movie?
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't get this question.
That's a good question.
Superman.
As long as my Christopher Reeve super.
I'm gonna say Green Lantern.
Superman versus Green Lantern. Channing Tatum versus Jonah Hill. This is going to be interesting. I did hear Superman first, though. So, Mr. Kearns, you have 20 seconds. Time begins whenever you start talking.
Here's the thing. The fun thing about the Lego movies is they're able to take characters and kind of make fun of their history, but also celebrating them. No one has more history than the original superhero, Superman. You could have so many jokes just with the different incarnations he's had over the years, while still having a really interesting story that can introduce younger kids to the mythology of Superman.
All right, patented late night approach. That's been a long time since that on the actual show. We'll see if this pays off. Sandy, you have 20 seconds. Time begins whenever you start talking.
We are talking the Lego world. What better character in the Lego world than Green Lantern, who creates things with his ring? He's like a master builder without having to be a master builder. The concoctions that we'd be able to see with his ring are awesome. Everybody knows Superman. He's already been in a couple of the Lego movies. People know him there, but haven't been clamoring for that. We don't know Green Lantern, and he's coming up soon. We should have one with him in
time. All right, ending right on time. We'll call that the Sandy approach. You have 15-second rebuttal beginning with Mr. Kearns. 15 seconds. Time begins whenever we start talking.
In the Lego movie universe, we already have that character. His name is Emmett, and he's a far better character than Green Lantern. The thing with Green Lantern is there's not really much to go on. He's kind of more interesting for adults, whereas with Superman, like I said, this is a way to bring kids into this character while also having fun in the Lego world with Superman.
Time. All right, Sandy, 15 seconds. Time begins whenever you start talking.
I don't care about Emmett. This is a battle between Superman and Green Lantern. And in the Lego world, the person who can make the best stuff in the Lego world and make it look cooler is absolutely the movie that I want to see. Superman would just be able to bust stuff up, whereas Green Lantern would be able to build things and make cool constructs.
Time. Okay, I'm going to go first. I'll give my point to Sandy. Sandy really sold me on in the rebuttal aspect. Comments from the peanut gallery will not be tolerated while I'm elaborating. Sandy really sold me on how Green Lantern essentially can build things, and he's a master builder without being a builder. Matt had to sell that first. There was a couple things that I wanted to hear in his rebuttal, but yeah, I'm gonna give that point to Sandy. Cody, how are you swaying and why?
I'm actually going to give the point to Matt. I think Matt had a strong argument.
Shocking.
That's not even true. I'm very back and forth. I think Matt had a really good opening, and then I think he did a really good job rebuttal, which kind of had to put Sandy a little bit on the defensive. So it was really. This was actually a really, really good debate. It was super close on this one. So, but I think Matt pulled it out for me.
Congratulations, Matt. Way to go. Awesome. You're moving on to the next round. I'm so proud of you. Rhyme and reason forever, baby.
So we are tied, but Malcolm, you are the swing vote. Who moves on to the final based on the arguments provided?
Yeah, based on the arguments provided, I'm going to have to say I'm sorry, Sandy, but I have to give you the point.
Oh.
Wow.
Because you really sold me on Green Lantern. I mean, I think your hit you did to Superman was like we've seen a lot of Superman, but we haven't really seen a lot of Green Lantern. The fact that you can use the Lego to make really cool constructs really sold me on this. So yeah.
All right. Well, Sandy advances on to the final.
See how it is, Malcolm?
His rhyme and reason partner.
Fuck you too.
I'm really surprised he normally votes for you.
All right. Well, we are.
Thought I was done.
We are now. We are now on to. We are now. We are now on to Cody. Sandy, don't you start it. Don't you fucking start it.
You been drinking tonight?
No.
Okay, I pick one.
We are now.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I'm so fucking tired. All right. So, oh man. All right. So Cody and Malcolm. Cody composing the champion. Picking number 1, 3, 4,
1.
5. 1. We are number 1. All right. So, once again, if I hear you first, you will go first. Competitors, keep your ears perked. What is the worst movie by Illumination Pictures?
Minions.
Despicable Me 2.
Despicable Me 2. Alrighty, so 20-second opening beginning with Cody. You have 20 seconds. Time begins whenever you start talking.
Despicable Me 2 can't be the worst one because guess what? Despicable Me 2 has minions for a few points go ba 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 banana da da da. Try an hour and a half of that talking about banana and doing inappropriate jokes. It is Twinkies that you never want to see do that. I literally thought about offing myself in the theater watching that movie. It was so bad. Despicable Me 2, the third one's the worst, not the second.
Time. Cody obviously struggling with becoming a man. You know, those voice cracks. They happen. You know, suddenly he's gonna think about girls or guys a little bit differently. You know, I mean he's got his head start on that facial hair. So, Malcolm, you have 20 seconds. Time begins whenever you start talking.
Minions is a fun movie. Kids love to go see it and imitate it. Despicable Me 2 didn't really do great for the franchise. It was boring. It just wasn't enjoyable.
You have 5 more seconds.
But Minions is it was made to sell toys. So, I mean, the kids love the Minion toys.
Time. All right. 15-second rebuttal, beginning with Cody. Time begins whenever you start talking.
Kids that imitate the Minions? That's terrorism. That's awful. That's the worst side ever. Despicable Me 2 can literally carry on the franchise. That's what 3 was so upsetting because it didn't carry on. Secret Life of Pets is a worse movie than Despicable Me 2. Minions is awful. They have no point and they shouldn't have had their own movie.
Time. All right, 15-second rebuttal ending with Malcolm. Time begins whenever you start talking.
But Despicable Me, just give Cody the point. I really.
Wow.
Whoa! Was that our first conceit?
That's a first. That's the first race in Mini Speed Anime history. Congratulations, Cody.
Before that, if you just went off the first 2, who would you have given the point to? I'm just curious.
Malcolm had potential, but you.
Listen, Malcolm was fighting.
I liked Malcolm's opening, but but essentially because you gave a rebuttal, you're ahead. I mean, like,
no, I was just off the opening. I was just basing it off the opening.
Oh, off of the opening. Off of just the opening, Malcolm probably.
Fair enough. Saying it's
Also the correct answer was the Lorax, or even
Lorax
the Grinch.
is a good movie.
I didn't know.
Minions is better than Lorax. I actually enjoy Minions.
What?
Minions was 100% the right answer.
I didn't know
Minions
Lorax
is
was Illumination.
bad.
I don't think
Minions-
Lorax is Illumination, is it?
I'm
Bro.
pretty sure Lorax is Illumination.
I'll look it
Okay,
up.
either way, let's go.
Anyways,
Regardless, Minions is the worst. I was babysitting my cousins and they watched it, and I was like, "No, you guys need to watch ET or something."
I actually enjoyed Minions. I saw it with my nephews as well, and they
Yeah,
It's called terrorism. It's called terrorism.
How is that called terrorism?
Banana.
Just because they don't speak American doesn't mean that they're a terrorist, Cody.
Kids coming out of the theater going, "Gabba gabba, banana."
Okay.
I was like, I'm under attack. I'm
The
under attack.
Lorax is actually from Illumination.
Yeah,
And it's
because
a
the
good
Grinch
movie,
is also
so move along.
Let's go with the best is.
If I realised Illumination did that, I would have fought for that. Hop.
Lorax is
Illumination
good.
did Hop, apparently.
Illumination did Hop?
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
Really?
Anyways. All right, so Cody, surprising by, I mean, like, Malcolm could have rebutted anything, but Malcolm was like, "Nope, I'm gonna rage quit." So Cody, congratulations, you advanced by default.
I think I did a pretty good job.
All right, so we move on now to Cody versus Sandy.
Sandy's title.
Interesting match for sure.
I don't know. I'm still a little pissy.
Malcolm, because you hardly ever get to pick one. Pick number 3, number 4, or number 5.
This is champ's advantage. That's rude.
I'm going to go for 5.
5? Okay. Okay. All right. So whenever you hear this, once again, if I hear you first, you will go first. Question number 5. What Pixar movie has the best voice performance?
Up.
Up?
Best performances or performance?
What Pixar movie has the best voice performance?
Toy Story.
The first Toy Story?
Yes.
Okay. So I heard Sandy's up versus
Serious.
the OG Toy Story. Sandy, you have 20 seconds. Time begins whenever you start talking.
Okay, just before I start, is this one voice performance or the entire cast?
One.
Or just so I have to hit one?
One.
Okay.
That's why I changed it to a certain thing.
Okay. All right. In the movie Up, there's one quintessential voice actor that plays so well and does it so perfectly. It's Carl Fredricksen, played by Ed Asner. He encapsulates exactly what it is to be an old person, alone, scared sometimes, not able to do it. And he's so good at voicing that through the character that you really believe that this is a real person and somebody that actually exists in the movie just from using his voice.
Time. Okay, 20 seconds, Cody. Time begins whenever you start talking.
Tom Hanks in Toy Story literally brought the sheriff to life and had to show a moment of weakness when he was all by himself. So basically, before Carl even had the chance to it, Tom Hanks was doing it first. He had to go from the leader of the pack to the bottom of the barrel and realize that he was second and prove that into a perfect, cohesive story, bouncing off Tim Allen back and forth, literally trying to snap a person that he didn't want to take his place over and convince and become a buddy system to save, to do that with Andy.
All right. 15-second rebuttal beginning with Sandy. Time begins whenever you start talking.
Toy Story might have done it first, did it better. And if you want to talk about having a buddy story, how about Russell as Carl's buddy throughout the entire movie, who both voice their characters perfectly to make it look like it's they're friends and they've been lifelong friends. It's very, very important to have that when you're watching a movie, that connection.
Time. 15 seconds for Cody. Time begins whenever you start talking.
The problem with Up is there's way too many characters that outshine Carl throughout the entire movie. Doug, the villain in that movie, Russell, they all outshine. Tom Hanks' character goes throughout the entire thing, and they literally did the buddy system first, and he proves that he hated him at the beginning, ended up loving him to reunite with Andy because they knew that's what Andy wanted.
Time. Okay, I am going to go first. I'm giving my point to Sandy once again. And here is why. I heard more about the voice performance in Sandy's opening. Whereas with Cody, and Cody's going to disagree with me like he always does, I just got more about how Tom Hanks's character is more essential and not more so. I got some emotion. I got some emotional stuff from like how Ed Asner goes with Carl, whereas with Cody, I just didn't really get that. But then again, I'm not alone. There are two other judges here, so I go point to Sandy. I will go the next to Mr. Kearns.
I'm giving my point to Cody because what I heard from Sandy in his opening was Ed Asner played a convincing old man, which Ed Asner is an actual old man. I would be very afraid if he couldn't play a convincing old man. But the thing was you guys were both very equal for me in the openings. So I knew this was going to be a battle won in the rebuttals, and sadly Sandy got more caught up talking about Russell. And he didn't bring up Ed Asner again. Whereas Cody kind of talks about Tom Hanks through the whole thing, so just based on that, it's just the thing that happens in these debates. I do it myself sometimes, so I just have to give my point to Cody because since you guys were so equal, and sadly because Sandy didn't add more on for Ed Asner, whereas Cody added more on for Tom Hanks, I have to give my point to Cody.
Okay.
Really good battle, though.
Yeah. Oh, super. Malcolm, once again, it comes down to you. I hate to do this to you again, but based on the arguments provided, who gets the point and why?
This was a pretty close battle, but this was hard. I think I'm going to have to give the slight edge to Sandy because in his rebuttals, he did say just because it was done first doesn't mean it was better. He kind of sold me on that connection between Ed Asner and Russell. That connection was to the thing, but I mean, it was tough. But yeah, Sandy slightly gets the point for me. So,
which means that your winner and the new Late Night with Take 3 mini speed on debate champion of the Full Metal Multiplex fan trivia communities of the world is the Sandman, Sandy Robinson. Sandy, you finally got the title back. You've been hacking away at us, and finally, in animation of all things, you're able to swipe it away from Cody. How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel good. But I feel bad at the same time. I know how Cody loves this shiny title, and I guarantee next week he cleans my clock with it. He only generously allows me to have it every few episodes, so we can look forward to another long title reign after he destroys me next week. But I thought it was a good battle. I did think that I slipped up a little bit in my rebuttal, but thankful for the points. You know what? Sometimes it just goes in your favor.
All right, well, congratulations, and I'm sure you'll be defending it again next week. Cody, the reign ends once again for the third time now. I think I don't know. I've lost count at this point. How do you feel? And I'm sure you have a plethora of words to say to me.
No, I just need to start doing buzzwords when I talk, because apparently that's what gravitates to people, and it's what they hold on to. We didn't do it first, didn't do it better, but literally talked in his rebuttal about side characters and not his character. But I didn't bring up emotional to connect with characters. It's cool. It's what you guys heard, and that's fine. I'll be back next week, and I will win it again next week, or I will lose again next week. It's not that big of a deal. I just think Brooklyn's still pissed from the last match and decided to be biased. And Sandy
are you fucking kidding me?
Sandy cannot say. Oh, there's the answer again. Sandy cannot say anything about Malcolm. Because for the basics it has been 7 weeks since Malcolm has given me a point in this exact debate. So on that note, Malcolm hates me, not you guys. This is a great match. It was fun. It is what it is. I'll be back next week to debate again. And if I lose, I lose. If I win, I win. Cool. But Sandy deserves it tonight. So that's how the cards fell.
Okay, cool. All right.
Fuck.
All right. Yeah. Cool. All right. It is fortunately quarter after 12. We are going to we're gonna wrap things up, I guess. To the great panel that we have today. Starting off with our champion, Sandy Robinson. Where can the cool kids of the world find you?
You guys can find me all over the interwebs here at Full Metal on Take 3. We have a really big event coming up, which some of the people in this chat or in this place are part of. Our Snowball 2 event is going to drop close to New Year's, so that's going to be fantastic. We're planning and gearing up for that right now. You can absolutely find me on Take 3 here, doing a myriad of different things every Saturday with my partner Matt Kearns with Rhyme and Reason. And you guys can find me on Multiplex playing there. You guys can find me playing all over Full Metal Singles, Teams, Geek, Random, all those good things over there. I have not played in Movie Battlegrounds yet, but guess what? That might be coming soon. And Sandy Robinson or S Robinson 1799 on Twitter and Facebook. Thanks so much, guys. I had a great time.
To the former champion, Mr. Newberry, where can the cool kids of the world find you?
You can find me on Take 3 Productions. Watch Along will return later on. We're putting it off for a little bit. Me and Robert are super busy with work and school. You can find me on Friday with Full Metal Geek, where I help kind of run that. I've been off for a little bit, but I'm probably hosting a match coming up soon. You can find me on Sunday at Rhyme and Reason. Not Rhyme and Reason at all. Sunday at Rankum. I'm not involved on that show because I don't like those guys. And you can find me here on Thursdays getting screwed over by Brooklyn Vale every time the wind blows a certain direction.
Oh my god.
So, woo!
It's too late. It's too late to fight. It's really too late to fight.
It's not fight. It wasn't even consensual. You just literally screwed me over in the worst way possible. So it's great.
I just want to let you know there's actually a lineup you can join of people that hate me. I'll be doing autographs probably on Saturday.
Literally, I have a petition of 293 people, and it's growing.
Okay. Cool. That's good. Congratulations. You try to move me off of here, and look where I've been like 15 minutes later.
No one wants your show.
Cool. Congratulations. Mr. Kearns, where can the cool kids of the world find you?
Oh god. You guys can find me as always at Kearns_Matthew on Twitter, MattMovie611 on YouTube, and right here as co-host of Rhyme Reason with Sandy Robinson and host of Second Look. You can also find me on Instagram, but I'm not gonna let you follow me, so stop trying.
and last but definitely not least, Mr. Malcolm Cody, where can the cool kids of the world at the end? I butchered that really bad.
You can find me on Take 3 Productions. I'm hosting my own show, Rankum. And this week we're doing Christmas songs. And you'll both see both Cody and Brooklyn fighting on that again. You can find me on Full Metal and Multiplex, playing in matches and even hosting a few matches. I hosted a great match that just dropped earlier today. You can also find me on Twitter, Letterboxd, and Stardust at Melkor.
All right, and Abe, where can the cool kids of the world find you? Just kidding, you can't come in at the end.
No. This was a great show, guys. I just want to say that you can follow me on Twitter at AbrahamMath25. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. And last but definitely not least, I'm the Black Lady Brooklyn Dale. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter, the real BK10, the number, not the word. You can also find me right here at Take 3 Productions, running not one but two shows, 2 Bucks Trivia, of the show, a music trivia show where we do various trivia podcasts or trivia debates and countdowns. Be sure to check out the episode that dropped last Monday, where two angry people yelled at each other for a while, and somebody did really good, and somebody took the bed. You can also find me right here on Thursdays, Take 3, at various topical podcast show, where I guess I'm biased, so that's news to me.
That's true.
Be sure to check out the next week where we talk about something. I kind of forget what it is. But if you think that you could take on Cody, Matt, Sandy, Malcolm, myself, you probably don't want to. Feelings get hurt here, and we cry after this. So once again, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and take your productions. Follow us on Facebook. Be sure to check out our other various great programs. The reactions and the summits. Reactions on Tuesdays and Fridays, and the summit on Mondays. Possibly Gone at the Win with Manning. Although Matt and I are not cool enough to be on the show. Private Reason on Saturday. Raycom on Sunday. Watch Along, which is canceled.
5 movies, and one is what is it? Cloverfield.
That defeats the purpose. How is your show doing? Oh yeah, it's canceled like Family Guy was 2 times. Anyways, and last but. Thank you guys for coming on today. I am the Black Legend, Brooklyn Dale. Cheers, guys. And as always, drive
unsafely.
She just turned the stream off.